welcome. I want to say a big welcome to everyone, and we are privileged and honored to be in the midst of our keynote speakers, who, in fact, when I saw their profile and their resume, I went to hide mine because I was so humbled about such people, such dignitaries that we are in their midst here today. So I would like to say welcome, everyone. I would like to welcome our keynote speakers, the persons of Ambassador Aminu Akadri. I don't know if, please pardon me if I didn't get the name so right, but Ambassador Aminu Akadri is the Executive Director, Federation of West African Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Good afternoon, sir. We are humbled. It's a privilege to have you in our midst today. I don't know if if the ambassador is around, if he can just give a light wave so that we acknowledge that he's in our presence. Also, we have other keynote speakers. We have Madam Yatta Saman. Madam Yatta Saman is the national president, the Federation of Farmers of Sierra Leone. She's the national president for the Federation of Farmers of Sierra Leone. Madam, we are pleased to have you with us today. Please, if you are present here with us today, please, you can just give a slight wave, so we know that acknowledge your presence with us here today. Also, we have other distinguished. We have Dr. Abdul Badi El Dada. Please also pardon me again if I did not get the name the pronunciations very well. Dr. Abdul Badi El Dada is the CEO of On Time Group, and he's actually a member of the that's Africa Trade Exhibition Consortium. He's actually a member. Okay, so we're privileged to have you here, sir. And we also have in our midst representing the executive director, the director general, sorry, of the National Technology Development Agency, NIDA, in Nigeria. He goes by the name of Mr. Oluwaseyi Adepaju. So, Mr. Oluwaseyi Adepaju, we are honored to have you in our presence, sharing your insights, your experience, especially when it comes to technology and how Africa and the ECOWAS states can leverage of the technology space available to them to actually foster economic trade and development in Africa. Okay. We also have Ms. Afifa Elsin. Ms. Afifa Elsin is a classical archaeology and cultural property preservation manager. I don't know if I got that right. She's actually from the UAE, and she will be giving us her own views on what she thinks Africa can actually emulate even from the UAE to be able to foster our economic growth within ECOWAS states. So once again, I thank everybody for being here. I thank our participants, I thank our guests, and I thank our very notable keynote speakers in the house today. My name remains Mr. Ekechi Kodiri, and I'll be the pilot, taking us on this cruise towards economic and trade development in the ECOWAS states in Africa. So I will kick off this session because of time. I will talk about why are we actually here today. I will start by introducing the African Trade Exhibition. What is the African Trade Exhibition? Because it's actually the African Trade Exhibition that is actually the parent of this webinar series that we have here. Everything we're discussing here is actually a build-up to the African Trade Exhibition. So what is the African Trade Exhibition? The African Trade Exhibition is a virtual hybrid platform. Okay, it's a virtual hybrid platform that was innovatively created to stimulate business business opportunities, investments and economic integration, in Africa. The whole idea about what the founders had in their mind when they created this platform was they wanted to create a platform whereby businesses can be done seamlessly, in Africa. They wanted to create a system whereby the economic bloc of Africa is being utilized, by creating a platform whereby people can trade in business, people can do business seamlessly, people can connect with the world and sell African trade business to the world, and also to promote investment opportunities, attract foreign direct investments through this kind of platform. They noticed that there was a gap. A lot of businesses, a lot of innovators, a lot of traders, a lot of economic opportunities were being missed because of that gap that was not available, because of that opportunity and platform for people to showcase what they had was not available. So the African Trade Exhibition is actually a virtual hybrid platform where innovators, businesses, SMEs, policymakers, and even government agencies have a platform to come and showcase their products, showcase their services, and even talk about the policies and regulations that they are putting in place, to help the economic development and also to promote seamless trade and businesses within Africa. So the mode of the African Trade Exhibition, which is called AIDS African Trade Exhibition, is actually a biannual event. It's done twice a year, in June and in December. We have done one earlier. We have done several earlier this year. And usually before we do our any of these exhibitions, we usually do a webinar series, like a build-up, for people to get sensitized and enlightened on how and why there's a need for seamless trade relationships and economic development within Africa. So this webinar series is a build-up to the African Trade Exhibition. It's going to be a hybrid, which is a I can see Mr. I think hello. I think someone just came in now. I think Mr. Oluwaseyi. Am I correct?
Yes. Sorry for into the ongoing conversation.
Okay. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. We're glad to have you here, sir, as an honor, sir. Okay. So I don't know if I can go ahead.
Please go ahead.
Okay. So that was why this I was saying that was why this African Trade Exhibition was actually created to actually help seamless trade across Africa, and it's actually a biannual event, as I said, which is twice a year, and we are looking at participants, over 50,000 participants. The whole idea of this is to make it seamless so that people from the comfort of their homes can actually register and trade. So when we mean it's a hybrid virtual, let me clarify on that. It means it's done virtually and also done physically, which means it's going to be held simultaneously in two locations, which is the virtual, digital virtual one, and we have the physical one on ground too. So for people who maybe, for instance, we are doing it in your country and you happen to be available, you can choose to go and attend the physical one. Maybe you want a more direct experience. You can choose that. But if, for instance, you're in another country in Africa and you want to actually exhibit your products or your services and your businesses, or even if you're a policymaker and you actually want to talk about your definite policies that you have for African economic integration, you can just register on the online platform and you'll be given all the materials that you need and you participate online. And over 50,000 participants and millions of viewers globally will be able to see what you have to offer. So that is actually the essence of the African Trade Exhibition, So as a build-up to it, that's why we're having this webinar series. This is we call it Business Webinar 8.0, and our theme for this webinar is unlocking potential business, trade, and investment opportunities in Africa, focusing on the economic community of West African states, which is, of course, it's ECOWAS. ECOWAS, as we know, is a combination of 15 countries coming together to form an economic bloc to handle their economic activities. So this webinar is actually to discuss how can, what are the business opportunities that the ECOWAS states can leverage upon, okay? Using our different tools, both technology, both relationships, both our environmental advantages, both our environment, our fertile soil, and all that. What are the things that what are the business potentials within this West African economic communities called ECOWAS? So that's what we're here to deliberate on and look at opportunities, how we can actually, what are the things in place? How can we actually grow our economic base, and take our products and services to the world and be an economic competitor, in the global market. So that's why we're here to discuss all this together and helping us be able to steer this steers towards our goals and objectives is why we have our expert keynote speakers helping us and guiding us on this course, sharing their experiences, sharing their expertise, sharing their knowledge in their different sectors and their different fields. Okay, and that's why we are here today. So I will be starting up with so that we don't waste much time, because we know time is precious. I'm starting off with our very distinguished ambassador, Ambassador Aminu Akadiri, who is the Executive Director, Federation of West African Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We're privileged to have you here, sir. Please, sir, if you are available, sir, please, you can kindly just make a wave.
Hello, Ambassador. Can you hear us, please? I think it's time for you to kindly unmute your mic. We can't hear you, Ambassador. Please unmute your mic. Ambassador, we still can't hear you. Please unmute your mic. Okay. Ambassador, can you hear us? Hello? I think his mic is either muted or something.
Excellency, you muted again. Just
We can hear
next
you.
time. No, we are not.
Yes,
hearing.
it's okay now. Thank you
Yeah,
very
Now
much.
we can hear you now, yes.
I hope you can hear me now.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, can you?
Okay. Oh, Ambassador, good afternoon. Good to have you with us.
No, we lose you again.
Since Ambassador, maybe his network is a little bit unsteady.
I think, Your Excellency, you need to ensure the mic.
Yes, we can. Maybe we can move on to other speakers while Ambassador is maybe working on his mic, because it seems his mic is having a communication problem.
I think his mic is fine now. Ambassador, can you hear us? Please, we can't hear you. Let's confirm then before we proceed. He seems to be talking, but we're not hearing him.
But I think he has also problem in
Maybe he's not turning on his mic.
Umbrella body of private sector in West Africa. We were set up as 1972 by National Chambers of Commerce in West Africa. And we start our operation even before ECOWAS was set up in 1975. So FEWASI leaders were part of those who set up the ECOWAS. So you can see that having the community economic in the region is a desire from private sector actors. So since then, the Federation has been identified as
No, it seems we have It seems we have lost Ambassador again. As other members, am I audible? Am I being heard? Because I think I'm not hearing Ambassador
Yes, you're
again.
audible. We can hear you. It's
We
just
can hear
Ambassador. Yeah.
Okay, I know. But I could get a glimpse of what Ambassador was saying, which was making a lot of exciting statements about how his organization is welcoming such initiatives and ideas for economic development within the ECOWAS. Little I could gather from what he was saying, you see his passion in his speech. You could see what he wanted to do. You can see that they are really excited about working together with the private sector, working together with the public sector, and working together with even as much as even civil society groups to be able to achieve economic development. So I think it's a collective effort amongst all stakeholders in the field. Okay, I think we just got him now. Ambassador, are you there, sir? Oh, I think we have lost him again. Maybe we should just move. Maybe we can move on to some other participants, some other keynote speakers to share with us. Okay. Okay, we have Mr. Oluwaseyi Adepoju with us. I think, Mr. Oluwaseyi, are you there, sir?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, pleasure to have you, sir. Pleasure to have you. So, Mr. Oluwaseyi is actually representing the Director General of the, am I correct? Please correct me if I'm wrong. The Director General of the National Technology Development Agency, NIDA, in Nigeria. Mr. Oluwaseyi, we're happy to have you here. We'll just be asking you just little questions, because you are in the tech space, and we would like to know, what role does digital transformation play in economic development within the ECOWAS? I don't know if you can just share a few kind of what you think about what digital transformation and technology roles they can play to actually help ECOWAS achieve its economic goals and objectives.
Thank you for having us here. I'm representing the DG of the National Information Technology Development Agency. That is Mr. Kashifu Nwa Abdullahi. It's a great honor to be here and to share my own insights into what I think. Technology is a great equalizer. Breaking barriers and creating opportunities were non-existent before the advent of huge technology impact. In the ECOWAS region, technology is driving transformation in several ways. The transformative power of digital innovation is undeniable. In ECOWAS, where we have over 60% of the population, they're under 25. Leveraging technology is not just an opportunity, I think it's a necessity. Now, there are initiatives that I can easily pinpoint and tell you these initiatives have been proven to break grounds and to show what regional integration can do. A typical example is cross-border payment system. Initiatives such as FlutterWave, Paystack, these are entities that enable seamless financial transaction, overcoming currency exchange barriers that previously hindered trade. These platforms are now processing billions in transactions annually. Now, what else? We can also look at e-government platform, like what we are doing in NIDA. NIDA work is currently, we are geared towards digitizing public services, with streamlined business registrations, tax filings, custom processing, reducing costs and increasing transparency. What more? We are looking at digital identity systems. Digital identity system, you can look at something we have here in Nigeria National Identification Number. This system is designed to enhance digital and physical transactions while facilitating financial inclusion for millions of citizens. So we can see, and I can't overstress the fact that to really close the gap in development over the years that we've lost, I think technology is a critical tool that would really do that. We at NIDA, we are at the forefront of it. As such, even also led to the establishment of a special project, a special purpose vehicle, which is called ONDI. ONDI has been at the forefront of enabling such innovations through initiatives that foster technology adoption, digital skill development, like what we are having with the three TTT skill in the ministry. We are empowering businesses to strive in a rapidly evolving economic landscape.
Brilliant. It's interesting, very interesting. It's like you don't have so much to say, but time is actually constraining you because I can just listen to you on and on, because it was very insightful and very exciting to see that NIDA, is actually making a lot of positive strides through technology to actually promote economic development in Africa. Is there any kind of trainings or education or kind of skills development kind of programs that NIDA has that promote tech startups and things like that? Maybe you should share some light with us.
Okay. We at NIDA, we've been instrumental in fostering Nigeria's digital economy. One of the kind of programs we've initiated is in the context of capacity building. Currently now, over 3 million Nigerians are to be trained in IT skills through programs like the Digital State Program, the 3MTTT program. This is preparing them for global workforce. Also, we have what we call startup ecosystem support. Startup ecosystem support, NIDA, we are doing some strategic partnership with innovation hubs. With these innovation hubs, we have a lot of startups popping up from this innovation hub. We then able to create institutional support around regulation, around initial funds, startup capital, and all that. Those are part of the things we are doing. Not only that, we are aware that while the private sectors are going to drive a lot of the activities in the sector, we also know that governments need to do some things like infrastructure that will be the base to which private sector will capitalize on. Such are infrastructural development, like our broadband explosion projects, aim to provide about 90,000 of Nigerians with high-speed internet by 2025, creating a foundation for inclusive innovation. Also on the policy side, we have policy development. You can see the National Digital Economy Policy and Strategy. This sets out as an ambitious roadmap for economic growth through technology. Then we also have the Nigerian Startup Act. This provides a legal framework to support innovation, encouraging investment in startups. These are just a highlight of what NIDA is doing to foster a good Nigeria digital economy. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Oluwaseyi. Thank you so much. That was so insightful. If I said this is, it's platforms like this, even for platforms like this, people will not know that these are the positive strides that NIDA is actually doing to actually promote economic development through technology. So platforms like this are very, very necessary. That is why the African Trade Exhibition is actually here to promote things like this. This is very, very insightful. We're very excited to have a leader here present with us here, talking about their. You can see the passion. You can see the passion in Mr. Oluwaseyi's voice, and I know that passion is stemming from the passion from his superior, which is the DG. So you can see that when you have a good leader, you can see it translates to his subordinates. You can see the passion in Mr. Oluwaseyi there. So thank you so much, Mr. Oluwaseyi. One other final question I'll just ask you. I know you have said some things here. You already highlighted many of them, but are there some just give us a little bit of some success stories in the tech sector in Nigeria that NIDA has been instrumental for, and that they're actually success stories today that we can talk about. I don't know if you have any.
Well, I would say we can say NIDA has had a role in most startup success story, because whether you like it or not, NIDA handles regulatory aspects, which means the regulation and the policy has been good enough for you to invest, has been good enough for you to thrive, has been good enough for you to explore. But one key thing I would like to mention is there are key sectors that are driving growth that we need to look at as a sub-region. Now, what would be fintech? And in the fintech space, you can see, mobile payments being made across borders. Examples are the likes of Flutterwave, OPay, successful with over 30 million plus users. What are the opportunities there? SME focused solution for cross-border trade. Now, on the e-commerce front too, you can see Jumia digital storefront connecting African sellers to global markets, accessing over 1 billion global customers. What are the opportunities there? Market integrations for artisans. Now, on the agricultural front, you can see, farm crowdy, boosting farmers' income. What are the opportunities there? Climate smart agriculture scaling. Now, on the energy side, you can see solar panels empowering rural community. Example of such success, you can see Lumos providing solar energy to SMEs and home. What are the opportunities there? Scaling renewable energy access. Now, finally, on the creative side, you can see, Nollywood, Afrobeats, which going global. That is, what are the opportunities there? Regional creative hub, driving jobs and investments. So you can see that the opportunities cut across different sectors generally. And at the base of all this is a good environment, a good policy environment to make business thrive. And we've been at the forefront, making sure that we're introducing world-class global business practices. And we keep learning, keep getting updated every day. And we always want to be part of these kind of conversations so that we can hear what people want, we can hear what the problems are, we can hear other perspectives, and this can help us narrow down on what works and how we develop policy to boost the digital economy of the country and the region at large. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Oluwaseyi. Very, very very insightful presentation there. In fact, now hearing you speak about these things, one would have known before that NIDA is doing so much. We are very excited, and we look forward to working and collaborating with NIDA in the future to achieve our goals. Thank you so much, Mr. Oluwaseyi. Thank you so much for having me. We are really appreciate you, and thank you so much for your insightful presentations. I think Ambassador is he's back now. Ambassador, I don't know if you can just say something so that we know if you are there, sir, so that we can really hear from you, sir. Is Ambassador? Hello?
Okay.
Ambassador, sir.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Ambassador, yes, sir. Yes, I think it's clearer now, sir.
Okay. I'm so sorry for this disruption. That is the challenge of having online meeting. We are all in advance. I've come to your office and we have this meeting. My apologies to everybody.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, okay, for those who do not know who Ambassador is, Ambassador Aminu Akadiri, I hope I got the pronunciation as well. He's the Executive Director, Federation of West African Chamber of Commerce and Industry. It's an honor and privilege to have him here, sir, in our midst. You are very welcome, sir. Sir, we want to know what are the policies in place? What is the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the West African Chamber of Commerce and Industry, doing towards economic development? What kind of policies, what kind of initiatives, what kind of incentives have been put in place to actually promote businesses, promote trade, facilitate trade, seamless trade within the West African community, within the ECOWAS states? I don't know if you can give us an insight of what the chamber is doing so far.
Sorry to intrude. Sorry, Ambassador has a presentation, so please, I think he should give his presentation before you go.
Oh, no, don't worry. It's good. It's good. It's good. Mr. Keshuku, to our guests are already online, and we are facing an internet challenge. Let me give a summary to your question. The question you ask is the question that my keynotes supposed to provide, but I would like to go straight on answering to you, introduce who we are, what we are doing, and what we need to do business within West Africa. So that is the summary of my presentation. So as I was introducing to you before, is that the Federation of West Africa is the umbrella body of private sector in West Africa. We are formed by national chambers of commerce from Nigeria to Mauritania. So FEWASI is representing the entire private sector within the West Africa. Either you are traders, you are manufacturers, who you are part of us in West Africa. And we started this journey since 1972. Our office is ECOWAS. We are not part of ECOWAS, but we are to represent private sector because of the mandate within the West Africa. Any decision related to trade, investments across the border, and access to market, that is our mandate. We represent the private sector to promote within the region, to see any policy that were put in place that can enable having friendly business environment in West Africa. So to do this one, we have an observer status at ECOWAS head of state on Sunday 15. Then we have ECOWAS summit in Abuja. FEWASI leaders will be attending this very huge event where we provide our sector position and perspective. We have the same at Africa Union level. So that is who we are, what we are doing. What we see within West Africa is that, as you see me, I'm very happy to be ECOWAS citizen.
Very, very, very lovely, sir. Very lovely. Well, I'm also very happy, sir, to be an ECOWAS citizen. Yes, sir. I think we are all happy, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Ambassador, for your very insightful presentation. You can see that before now, we didn't really know that all this was
from Nigeria to Senegal. We have as a citizen from the ECOWAS region, is that we are blessed by the protocol on a free movement of person, free movement of good, right? That is about a free movement of person. And some countries are operating. I was explaining about the free movement of person, ID card that can allow us to move, a common passport that can allow us to move, and the visa for people coming from abroad.
I think it's internet connection because we use.
Oh no, do we still have Ambassador on? Because I'm not hearing him.
I think he's disconnected, so you can go ahead with the next speaker while he comes. I think he's having internet issues.
Okay. I think from what he said so far, I think I could really understand where they're coming from. He's shed a lot of light on so many policies that they are doing, so many things that they are doing, even allowing in terms of immigration, in terms of giving people a lot of incentives and businesses to be able to come into the country without giving them any hassles when it comes to the immigration and things like that. But I heard the team say things about visas, giving visas and things like that. So it's a very good one. It's a very good one, and we are happy to learn that things are actually happening this way there, and they're actually doing things to facilitate ease of trade and seamless business transactions within the ECOWAS community. We also have so we know we are not under bias here. We also have distinguished ladies in the house, keynote speakers in the house too with us, who are going to share with us their own insights on what they are also doing in their organization to actually foster economic growth within the ECOWAS, and what are the things that they need to be done to actually stimulate more seamless trade within the ECOWAS. We have Madam Yatta Sama. Madam Yatta Sama is the National President, National Federation of Farmers of Sierra Leone. Madam, are you with us? If you're with us, please, can you just kind way? Madam, it's good to have you in the house. We're humbled. It's an honor and a privilege to have you in our midst today.
You're welcome. Thank you. Afternoon.
So, Madam, yes, ma'am. So, we want to know what is the Federation of Farmers in Sierra Leone. What do you think you need as even the agricultural sector, as farmers in the agricultural sector, and Sierra Leone is one of the countries, of course, within the ECOWAS. What do you think will actually enhance trade facilitation for farmers in not just Sierra Leone, but in the ECOWAS community? What are the things that what are the problems farmers are facing in in West Africa? What are the things you think that maybe governments or policies that should be put in place to actually enhance the seamless trade of farm produce within the region?
Well, thank you very much. Although we have very busy schedule and this is the peak of farming season, and we are called upon as a president representing the farmers to make sure that, yes, you've rightly said, to make our contributions on the way forward as far as Sierra Leone is concerned. But thank God I'm here because I feel this one is very, very important. So I decided to come at least to just say one or two words and then to go for the next meeting. But it's with great honor and privilege that I join you today for this webinar on unlocking the vast potential of business, trade, and investment opportunities in Africa with a focus on ECOWAS. Let me express my heartfelt gratitude to the African Trade Exhibition for this invitation and commend the organizers for their commitment to fostering economic growth across the continent. Today's topic, although you want a direct answer, but I think I prepared something that I would like to read out so that you understand exactly what our position is, because I'm not going to stay with you for a longer period. Today's topic is one of the immense relevance as Africa stands on the cusp of transformative era. With a population exceeding 1.4 billion, a youthful workforce, and unparalleled natural resources, and continent holds the keys to becoming a global economic powerhouse. ECOWAS, representing 15 nations and over 400 million people, is uniquely positioned to lead this transformation. To start with, harnessing opportunities in ECOWAS, you can agree with me that Africa's potential lies not only in its resources, but in its ability to leverage them effectively. Let us note that key sectors where immense opportunities exist are as follows: agriculture and agribusiness. As the backbone of Africa's economy, agriculture employs more than 60% of the population. The value chain in agriculture, from production to processing and export, is ripe for investment. Therefore, prioritizing value addition, we can significantly boost exports and create jobs, particularly in rural areas. Climate-smart farming and the adoption of modern technologies are critical in ensuring productivity and sustainability. Industrialization and manufacturing. ECOWAS has a growing market for light manufacturing and agro-processing industries. Local production of goods such as textiles, processed foods, and construction materials not only addresses regional heads, but also reduces reliance in exports. Renewable energy. Africa's vast solar, wind, and hydro resources offer immense potential for renewable energy development. Investments in clean energy projects can power industrial growth and provide energy access to millions. Digital economy. Digital innovations such as e-commerce, fintech, and agri-tech are reshaping the way we do business. Harnessing the power of digital platforms can bridge market gaps, connect buyers and sellers, and enable small businesses to compete globally. While we identify the opportunities, the following cannot be underestimated: role of trade and investment in driving growth. The Africa Continental Free Trade Area, AFCFTA, is a game changer, providing a unified market that eliminates tariffs on intra-Africa trade. ECOWAS must leverage this framework to boost regional trade, create jobs, and drive economic diversification. However, this requires strategic investments in infrastructure, logistics, and trade facilitation to overcome existing barriers. Moreover, public-private partnerships are pivotal in unlocking opportunities. Governments, business, and civil society must collaborate with create an enabling environment for investments supported by policies and promote ease of doing business, access to finance, and market competitions. Empowering women and youth. Africa's progress is incomplete without the inclusion of women and youth. Women, especially in agribusinesses, play a critical role in food production and trade. Supporting women entrepreneurs with training, access to credit, and market linkages can transform the agricultural landscape. Similarly, our youth aimed with creativity and innovation are Africa's greatest assets. Equipping them with entrepreneurial skills and technology tools ensures that active participation in driving economic transformation. Networking for lasting impact. Platforms like this webinar are invaluable for fostering connections and building partnerships. Networking allows us to share knowledge, exchange ideas, and identify synergies that drive impactful collaborations. On this note, therefore, let us use this opportunity to forge relationships that transcend borders, aligning with efforts to achieve shared goals. Also, leveraging collective strengths, we can amplify our impact on the continents because the trade landscape. To all my colleagues, continental members, permit me to propose a call to action as we look forward for the future. I urge each of you to explore innovative partnerships that unlock potential in agriculture, manufacturing, and technology. Support the implementation of AFCFTA to facilitate regional trade and integration. Invest in sustainable practices that prioritize resilience and industry. Empower marginalized groups, ensuring that women and youth are at the forefront of Africa's transformation. To conclude, Africa's story is one of the opportunity and resilience. By working together and leveraging our collective strengths, we can transform challenges into opportunities and lay the foundation for a prosperous future. As the president of the National Federation of Farmers of Sierra Leone, being the keynote speaker of this continental event, I reaffirm our commitment to fostering collaboration, driving innovation, and contributing to Africa's economic and social development. Together, we can build a continent where every business thrives, every trade barrier is overcome, and every investment creates a lasting impact. Thank you, and I look forward to the fruitful discussions ahead to unlock potential business, trade, and investment opportunities in Africa with an achievable focus on ECOWAS. So that's my submission for now, because I'm running again to attend this meeting because we have the president, the vice president, and they are in the hall waiting for me. As I speak here, though my phone is not on speaker, I'll put my phone on silent, but they are still calling because I need to be there and for somebody representing the farmers so that I can give my own view on the feed salon, what we've achieved, what are the constraints, and how we need to move forward. But our major constraints for now, as you rightly asked, as farmers, yes, this year we've done our bit. We've succeeded in registering our farmers according to commodity. That's what we've already submitted to government. Now, the next thing we are aiming to do is to go around to GPS their farms so that we know exactly their farm sizes, so that we'll be able to advocate and lobby for support for them. We are also advocating for loan opportunities for our farmers with 1-digit interest, because the interest rate is very, very high. Although the government has done its best and to make sure that, yes, we have a loan that's we have but the percentage, the interest rate is still high because it's still 2 digits, that is 10%. But we are still moving forward. Although government has provided some machines for us as farmers and they provided some facilities, but we still need more because the population and the machines that have been provided, we will not be able to service all of the farmers. This year we doubled the production. Now the challenge is, how are we going to do our harvesting? How is that harvesting going to be done? We've already pleaded to donors because they need to provide us with harvesting machines. We need quality seeds next coming season, and we need everything on time. If that one is done, then I believe we've already assured the government that, yes, the sky will be our limit. The feed salon, everybody is crying about, will be successful, and the sustainability aspects of it will be like 95%. So I appreciate this webinar and I appreciate the organizers. I hope next time I have more time so that I will join you people. So we have lots of discussions, because I know they are going to fire me with questions when I'm on the podium. But I have no fear in that, because I know we've done our bit and it's left with the donors and the government to do their own bit as well. I always tell them, we are private people. We are civil society organizations, but we still need your support, because a single figure cannot pick everything together. But if you come together as a united front, I believe we will be able to move forward and to sustain whatever we are talking about here as Africans. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you again in the next webinar meeting.
Thank you so much, Madam. Thank you so much, Madam Yatta Sama.
The president, national president for the National Federation of Farmers of Sierra Leone.
Wow, Madam, you have covered everything I wanted to ask. Even before you finished, you have already covered everything. And there's one thing I'm going to take from you that I really like what you said: a call to action, which means it's not just talking, but we must act. Whatever it is that we are doing, we have to act on this, and work together. You also mentioned collaboration. You also mentioned different sectors, different using technology, and things like that. And you said so many things with so little time. I really wish we had more time to really hear more from you. And then on us also, platforms like this, because when you talked about the challenges which you farmers are facing, especially for your harvest, it's good to maximize your harvest. We talked about funds, talked about donors, talked about machines, and I know technology is needed.
And irrigation system as well. Because we want to produce 3 times a year. But most of the development and land preparation is very, very key. Otherwise, we will not be able to succeed in our drive. And I know together we'll be able to do it. Teamwork with championship.
Obviously, with platforms like this, at the African Trade Exhibition program, it's going to give that platform for even donors to actually hear things, have that, them to meet with you and hear things like this from you personally, have that personal connection and all that with them. And they'll be able to hear from the horse's mouth and feel your pains and feel your challenges, and be able to, come up with sustainable solutions to actually help your sector, not just the agricultural sector, but other very vibrant sectors within the ECOWAS. So, Madam, we don't have to take much of your time. I know that you need to rush out and go to your meeting. We want to say thank you once again, Madam. It was a pleasure having you with us today, and we genuinely hope that we'll have you again with us to even talk more with you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
No problem. You are welcome. So let me take this opportunity to exit. But thank you very much. I'm expecting more from you next time.
Thank you, Madam.
You're welcome.
So that was Madam Yatta Sama. In fact, she gave a very wonderful insight, very elaborate. We've touched almost every every sector and everything we actually want to talk about. Even went beyond agric. She went beyond agriculture into other sectors that are very vibrant within the ECOWAS. And she talked about a call to action, which is very important. It's not about just having webinars and talking. It's about acting. After we have finished speaking here, what are we going to act upon? So really thank her for her contribution. And I would also like to point out that this webinar, all presentations here and speeches that are made here today will actually be available on the website, on the blog. The African Trade Exhibition has a blog, so all everything I discussed here today, both presentations and speeches that have been made from our keynote speakers will actually be available on the blog. So participants can actually go to the blog, and those that couldn't make it to this webinar you can refer them to go to the blog and get these presentations. The blog is available you can go to the website, you can access the blog through the website, which is africatradeexhibitions.com, so you can access it. You can access it there. And also we have a YouTube channel. The African Trade Exhibition YouTube channel is also available. All information should be shared to your emails after this webinar. So once again, thank you so much. We have another distinguished personality with us here today, Dr. Abdul Badi Eldada. I hope I got that well. If I didn't get it well, please apologies. Dr. Abdul is the CEO of On Time Group, and he's also a member to the African Trade Exhibition Consortium. So he's one of the in-house team guys who has been supportive of the Trade Exhibition for a while. So Dr. Abdul, please, you can take the floor, sir.
Thank you very much. First, I have the pleasure to have all the distinguished with us on this round, actually, and it shows how we are gradually expanding and see the impact of this forum on the regions and the impact what it could be done through the journey we are taking it. And I think with the zones we are covering it, we are able to identify and analyze more the needs of these. Plus reflecting what's the challenges, and we see how much we have common in some of the challenges and barriers in our journey. Plus, which is more important, what's the visionary issues we are seeing through the excellences that they have presented now, which is aligned with the vision why African Trade Exhibition has been developed for serving these needs. And I think by the end of this year, we will be able to present a brief about the whole journey for African Trade Exhibition along this year. Today, actually, I just want to highlight this also the influx from the colleagues about the importance of tourism and the trade and the economy. And actually, currently, I'm in Pakistan, and you see in my back, I have the pleasure to be directing the partnership and developments for the Pakistani travel mart, which will be potentially in the top 5-7 important forums in tourism industry global-wise. And one of the objectives now, we had it 2 days ago with the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Pakistan and with the African countries, actually, to create the Pak Africa tourism dialogue. And based on the reality grounds, we have it on Africa based on these features. And I think as Her Excellency was raising a lot about the farming issues, which is very important with His Excellency the ambassadors about the trading issues. There is a complementary approach between all of these. And also I told them, if we don't travel, we don't trade. So it's very important to highlight this topic as one of the major contributors for the economic growth or contributing for the GDP of the country. From practical points, from economic point of view, we see the importance of tourism as between the third and the fourth contributor for the GDP in terms of creating business opportunity, in terms of creating employment opportunity, and in place of creating the bridges between the countries and the continents itself by mobilizing the community empowerment, which has been raised by our colleagues now on the activity, on the discussion. Empowerment is one of the major points where we be able to mobilize our resources, our traditions, our handicrafts through this trade and create with this digitalization world now the platforms which will be able to support our community and our local, what we call them, experts, to be able to diversify their activities, diversify their products based on the international needs, and putting them on board together. I know my time is short for this time, but I want just to align it with the zone's activity, and we know that this part of the world you have numerous activities which could be done in terms of tourism and benefit and the impact on the trade and what we call it the other related fields that covers through tourism. And tourism in direct and indirect way, it has contributing for 250 plus field for the travelers, for the experts who will be on board with us, plus for the government business-wise. So forward, I think, and this is what we will take it to our hands for the next year going forward, how we are going to create this complementary ecosystem approach between the authority, the political people as the decision makers to be able to put on ground and into action what has been raised from the recommendations of the private sector, and how we can facilitate this to be able to put it into action, not only into visions we are looking to have, starting from the infrastructure, enhancing skills, direct and indirect contributors for the hospitality sectors, handicrafts. So it's a very big approach. And within this part of Africa, there is a lot of direction or a lot of interest that are going for what we call ecotourism and agritourism, because we have a lot of seasons there where people would like to come and live this experience with the villages, with the farmers, for example, and to be able to understand how this products has been done. Especially we still have the virginity of the product. We still have the origin of the products developed in a very natural way, regardless being on the greenhouses and being more in the artificial issues. And I think this is one of the business sectors and business field where we could align it in our activity and approaches, while we are reaching our officials people to be able to put it and to take it into consideration. And within African Trade Exhibition, I think with the previous editions, we managed so far to raise recommendations for certain countries, how they can develop the infrastructures and how they can be able to develop the matchmaking and contributing for such kind of experience to be exchanging and make the matchmaking between African continent, among African continent itself, because there is a lot of experienced people, a lot of experts has been and knowledge has been developed. We don't need to neglect it, and we cannot do something just on a parachute coming from outside and to be applied on these nations, because these nations, they have their own special feature, they have their own strengths. They can provide a lot of things within their capacity, which the other part of the world they don't have it, based on the reality, based on the features, based on the input we have in the ground. And I think step by step we are moving toward having more practical, and within what we are having now with such like organization and entities like the ECOWAS, we'll be able, inshallah, to have a physical also activities where we'll be able to have joint efforts from those countries and from beyond to have it more into actions rather than only have it on discussion. We need to transfer these comments. We need to, as like the distinguished speakers have raised, very intelligent and very important issues. I write it down, which it needs a little push where we'll be able to apply this, and we have the ability to transfer it into actions on the ground, and we will see the impact and the output within the short and long term. And this is our duty and our message. We need also to take it for the new generations who will need to have such things. They need to start mobilizing their activities and their directions from the normal tradition things, while preserving these traditions, but keep in consideration what the need has raised from the global to be able to contribute and to be able to benefit from them. Thank you very much, and we are available as African Youth Exhibition. As on time, once you are available for supporting and moving forward in that direction, and inshallah, we'll by next year, I think we'll be able to be more practical in ground that will impact the continent in general. But we need to start from a certain place, and we need to push the wheel to able to run it. And this is, I think, one of the activities and one of the steps we take through the African Youth Exhibition. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abdul. It was a pleasure listening to you. Very, very robust presentation. You cut across so many sectors, and so many. You said so many things. I think even after this program, I actually have to go to the blog to listen to you again, so that I can actually absorb everything that you said, because you made so much valid statements. One of the things I heard you talk about there was, Africa is unique, so we cannot just invite the copy and paste approach about what's happening in other regions of the world, other continents, and just bring it to Africa. No, we have our own unique cultures, we have our own unique environment. So there are things that might work over there, but will not work over here. So I noticed, I picked that part out when you said, Africa has its own special features. And you talked about infrastructure development. You also talked about the green sector and the sustainable sector, which is a virgin sector, and it's a sector I think countries in the ECOWAS should actually venture into, because it's still very virgin. It is still very underdeveloped, and it's something that's still very untapped. So it's something that we believe that if a lot of countries within the ECOWAS tap into this green sector, I mean, there will be a lot of opportunities available there for massive economic development. So thank you so much, Dr. Abdul. It was a pleasure having you speak, and I've learned so much from you, and I wish I think I will even enroll in your classes to learn more from you later. So thank you so much, Mr. Abdul. I think Ambassador is, I think his network is more stable now. So I think Ambassador want to finish his presentation, because we were enjoying his presentation, yes. But due to technical glitches, we lost him. But he's back on now. So, Ambassador, please, sir, take the floor, sir. We are listening, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ikechukwu, and apology for everybody. We are talking about investment opportunity in West Africa. I believe that internet connectivity is also area where we can invest to improve our communication within the region. I would like to appreciate all the presenter before me. What I present to you show you how our region is full of opportunity. I want to remind our sister from Sierra Leone who speak about the size of our population, more than 400 million. Is our region is a growing middle class population, and that speak about economic reform, the strategic location of our region, and Nigeria is playing a very lead role in this initiative that we are doing. So, if I may make any comments or any full presentation, is to talk about the business environment. For investment, we need a very friendly business environment, and what we are doing as FEWASI is to work with a policymaker, is to work with government, that we have a very good policy supporting trade and investment across the border. As we are talking now, we are very good to have this policy on freedom of person, good, and right of establishment. Even the free movement, the free investment in each member state. As you see, we have our ECOWAS trade facilitation, we have our AFCFTA facilitation, But under these three facilitation, what we have and very good for us as private sector is that the ECOWAS industrial policy with its strategy. The strategy focus on 4 key sectors: agribusiness, pharmaceutical, automotive, and building material. When we take ECOWAS strategy, we take FCA strategy, both are inviting investor in this critical area where we can together invest. So for not of coming back on the presenter ahead is to share with our people that as today we have ECOWAS investment code that allow any investor from outside to come and invest in our region. We have the policy on movement of a good and the ECOWAS trade liberalization scheme that allow any businesses, for example, in Nigeria, you set up your business and your product is aligned, is acceptable as a ECOWAS originated product. You can move your product from Nigeria to Senegal without paying any custom duty. What you have to pay is only tax, like VAT that we pay at the for the custom, or some small tax related to each member state that you can pay. So that shows that our region is blessed, is full of opportunity, so that you can move your business wherever you go. And also the key role that we as business support, and so we are playing, is that we provide this information that you are doing now as a trade platform to provide huge information for whoever want to trade, want to invest within the region. We at umbrella body, we make sure that any policy that people are taking with our observable status to make sure that it's aligned with objective of a private sector people. So in our region presents immense opportunity for business, trade and investments in a range of sectors with a growing consumer base, a push for infrastructure development and the integration of AFCFTA. ECOWAS offer a strategic entry point into the broader African markets. To take advantage of this potential, I urge us to take the following action next step by identifying key sector. I spoke about the key sector identified by ECOWAS and the AFCFTA, but we have another sector here in Nigeria that the people can tackle on is a creative and creative industry is even moving faster than any other sector. So I didn't say that we the other sector we have to find there are some strategic sector where we can work on inviting investors from outside to come jointly with us in the region. We have one very good protocol on our community on this. Any investor coming in joint with our local partner, we tackle on that community enterprise protocol, use it as a zone or any area of investment that we can use to create job for our region, develop our region, help to achieve the regional economic integration. I'm ready for any question that our guests or our assessment may ask. We are here at the solution. We are really able to talk to you to wherever to West. Thank you very much, Mr. Ikechukwu, and over to you.
Thank you so much, Ambassador. Thank you so much. In fact, you have said so much about so many things that your ECOWAS is doing. I think a lot of things you are doing to attract a lot of investments into the West African countries. I can see so many things. I'm seeing ease of trade. Most of the things we talked about, I've noticed a lot of ease of trade. A lot of policies you are doing to actually facilitate ease of trade. You just spoke about some kind of products and businesses and product and services, you ensure that within the West African region, there's ease of trade. You only pay, you really don't pay so much, only basic duties that you pay, but other tariffs are waived because of that, which is very encouraging for businesses within the region. So it is commendable. And also, we talked about also protecting local businesses. So when investors come in, you protect the rights of local investors, making sure that those investments reach those local businesses directly. And that's another very, very good take home that we got from your submissions. So I want to say it was a pleasure listening to you. I'm happy to see that there's a lot of efforts and strides for positivity within the region. And it was a pleasure to have you speak here today. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. We'll be moving to our final speaker, Miss Afifa Elson. I hope I got the name right. If I didn't, please apologies. Miss Afifa Elson is the Classical Archaeology and Cultural Property Preservation Manager, I think, in the UAE. So, Madam, if you are available, please, you can just kindly make a wave, and the floor is open for you. Thank you so much for being here.
Hello. Yes, I'm sorry I cannot turn my camera on because I'm already in another conference about illicit trafficking in cultural property. So I'm assisting in 2 sessions. I apologize. Can you hear me?
Okay, that's fine. That's fine, madam. That's fine. So, you can have a presentation. I know that you cannot be talking much, but if you can increase presentation or just a brief about what is how do you take ECOWAS in terms of trade facilitation within the ECOWAS states? What can be done over here? Maybe in comparison to what is done in UAE, what is done in other regions that you feel we can emulate here to stimulate economic growth within the region?
Yes. First, I'm from Lebanon, and I'm in Lebanon right now.
Okay.
I do have a presentation. I will send it to Dr. Abdel Badia, and we will organize everything to have it sent to you.
Okay.
And it's about the economic benefits of investment in the cultural sector. Last time we spoke about cultural tourism and ecotourism. So today we're gonna delve more into the economic benefits. So when we talk about cultural sector, we are talking about a multidisciplinary sector that can host everyone, literally everyone, from the farming and agricultural sector, digital sector, business, legal sector. Everyone can participate and should participate to get all the good benefits. So first we have 3 types of problem that causes tension between cultural practitioners and urban developers. So archaeological research and excavation in urban areas can be carried out under intense pressure from construction companies and real estate owners who do not want their work to be delayed. There's also a debate between defenders of heritage and historical buildings and those who want to demolish old buildings and build modern ones like offices, homes, towers, everything new. And third, we have the authenticity versus artificial heritage, which is, according to some wrong policies, depend on erasing a place or society's true identity and creating a new heritage that suits visitors, regardless of the civilization's owner and the community. So this, of course, causes a lot of problems. So when we talk about urban expansion, it represents a real danger for tangible and intangible heritage. And here we point out that reviving a country's heritage or creating a new country's heritage can represent a factor in the development of this country, in addition to building a new sense of belonging to a community or a group, which is a natural human activity. So heritage can truly be a factor of economic development. According to economists, the cost incurred from cultural heritage should only be viewed as an investment that will give good economic results in the short and long term. How? It can attract tourists and make a city or a country a place where people want to live in because the services and the attractions are available. Urban life in itself is a kind of cultural heritage. There's a rediscovery in many cities and countries around the world of what represents, defines these people, the communities, the minorities, everyone is involved. Here, the importance of customs, traditions, and heritage as a whole in a collective memory appears. Cities and countries, but mostly not metropolitan cities, the smaller one, villages, are a historical product. And here what represents cultural heritage appears. It's a part of us, our personality, our way of life, our thinking on the individual and collective levels. And it has a profound impact on our private and social lives. So, what are the economic benefits? If we take the example of a museum, for example, the British Museum has over 200,000 artifacts from Africa, mostly the Benin bronze. The Musée du Quai Branly in Paris has over 70,000 artifacts, African artifacts. Of course, a short visit to Google, you can discover how many visitors a year these museums have. Of course, when visitors go and the tickets are not cheap. So taking the example of a museum, experts distinguish between direct and indirect results. First, the direct one. It creates job opportunities and the income earned through the activities carried out by the museums, like the sale of tickets and any item from the museum store. This is the direct benefit. The indirect benefit is when visitors will what visitors will spend in terms of cost of transportation, food, accommodation, price of the local and handicraft, traditional products, and all the other services that any tourist needs. On the long run, it increases the attractiveness of the city, of the country as a whole, and make it recognizable. Place it on the global tourism map. As Dr. Abdel Badi' was saying, now tourism is a major investment opportunity. Of course, Africa, whenever it is mentioned around the world, people only think of safaris, but experts know, and of course the local communities know, that there is a lot to offer. So, on the long term, it includes the landmark placed on the World Heritage List increases the proportion of cultural tourism, whether it was ecotourism, normal tourism, agricultural tourism, any kind of tourism. For example, we have the grape harvest in France. It's been going on for years, and people pay a lot of money just to participate in this activity. Imagine what the West African countries can offer, harvesting not only grapes, but all the other products. One, you can have benefits from people visiting the country. They need a place to live. They will pay for it. They will pay for their own labor. You will gain labor, and people will learn about new techniques because these newcomers will want the best, which will also benefit the local communities. Moreover, it nurtures civic innovation, provides new ideas and broader knowledge, and has a positive impact on the economic situation as a whole. So, the cooperation between the various components is what gives positive results. Cooperation between heritage sites, service suppliers, and between different local authorities and associations. When they cooperate on one goal and one common cultural identity, they can achieve the best results. So, to sum everything up, the benefits are creating new job opportunities in locations, museums, galleries, sites, any kind of sites, not just ancient monuments, attracting tourists and thus obtaining a better income, teaching and raising generation, creating awareness campaign that will help this new generation, educating the people and introducing them to their past, preserving knowledge and passing it on to the future generation. 4, we are creating a cultural dialogue between different civilizations. I know from experience that, for example, there is a lot of languages in Africa. I visited once Uganda, and in the same neighborhood, I knew about 26 different languages. So imagine what kind of dialogue, cultural dialogue we can have. And lastly, reviving some civilian places and improving the conditions and quality of living for residents. So these are the benefits of investments in cultural sector. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Afifa Elson. We in fact, that was very, very, deep, and it was a pleasure to hear you speak. You really had a very well-written presentation, and even though you had another engagement somewhere, you were still able to deliver it very professionally, and I really appreciate that. Listening to what you talked about tourism, Africa is rich when it comes to culture, and West Africa is particularly very, very rich when it comes to culture. So I can see of course, the economic possibilities already from what you have already explained. We can already see a lot of economic possibilities, and this culture, this can attract a lot of tourism into the region. Tourism is a very big sector all over the world, and if West Africa can actually leverage off its culture and package it in a way, in a very attractive way to generate a lot of income for the region. I think some West African countries are already celebrating a lot of. They have a lot of carnivals they do. They have a lot of festivals, local festivals they do. And when I attended a few of them, and I know when I attended some of them, I saw a lot of tourists coming from different parts of the world. They said they heard about the festivals and they really want to come and see African culture. When they come here, they visit not just the safaris, but they also visit even the local villages, the local streams, and the local farms, taste a bit of the local delicacies, and it's a very big business because doing those festivals, because there's a lot of economic development, a lot of sales, a lot of trade activities going on, a lot of exchange of cultures, exchange of languages going on. So I can perfectly understand where you're coming from, and I can perfectly see the vision and the economic possibilities. I think they are enormous associated with the tourism sector. So, Ms. Afifa, thank you so much for your time. We hope to have you again with us. Maybe that time you'll be able to put on your camera so we can see, we can actually see you in person. So thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much. So, before we come to the close of this session, we would like to, this is the final session. It's just going to, because of time, we're going to start with just a little bit of panel discussions to discuss how, based on all we have discussed here today, how do we think the African Trade Exhibition can actually help promote seamless trade within ECOWAS and within Africa as a whole, and how each of the organizations, how we use support and partner. How do you feel you can partner and support to be able to achieve the success through the African Trade Exhibition? What kind of partnerships? How can we work together through the African Trade Exhibition, leveraging the African Trade Exhibition to actually promote seamless trade and business opportunities within the ECOWAS and Africa as a whole? So I think I will start with our ambassador. Ambassador, sir, I hope you are still there. We can just a brief summary of what you think, how you think we can partner with the African Trade Exhibition and how you feel the African Trade Exhibition will help promote all the things you have already talked about previously. How you feel the African Trade Exhibition will be able to promote those things that you already talked about today. So the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ikechukwu. And once again, my apology. I would like to have a very good connectivity to exchange with our guests today on how our region, how ECOWAS region is very, very important in doing business. I would like to commend the organizer of this event. And you can see from the development of each panelist, you can see that our region is a blessed region where we can fully work. We already have the very good policy that's giving a very good business environment. And what we need is to have people like your platform that amplify what we have since 50 years. There are many policy that we still have and people didn't know. So we need platform like ATE or any other platform that can take step to amplify what we have as a possibility to trade within ourselves in the region. And as the Federation umbrella body, we are ready to support you. We are ready to support any initiative that will help our people understand that we are no more at an ECOWAS of government, we are at an ECOWAS of people. Means that ECOWAS of people is that we have the right to this for our people. We have the right to take advantage of our huge potential, mineral potential, population potential, and use the policy we have to more invest, to more collaborate. In the past, we are talking about language barrier. We have to go beyond the language barrier. That I can speak my French as I'm speaking to you. My background is French, so I'm very good in French and English. So as somebody who also is from English speaking country, also speak English or Portuguese, there are the three business language we have in West Africa. So I believe that in your next webinar, we can fully address this barrier that we have as a language barrier, as an infrastructure barrier, any barrier that we have. This is undermining trading together. Once again, on behalf of my president, Mr. Famatoure, president for Shimasoko in Cote d'Ivoire, we want to thank you. Thanks for allowing us to come on the platform and express to people who we are, what we are doing. And I want all of us to be coming together to celebrate ECOWAS at 50 next year. ECOWAS will have a 50 year, while FEWASI will have a 5 year ahead before ECOWAS. So thank you very much, and I'm available. You have my contact, you have my detail. You can contact me at any time. Thank you. Over to you, Mr. Ikechukwu.
Thank you, Ambassador. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. We really look forward to your partnership with the African Trade Exhibition. We really look forward to that and your support. We are willing to work with you. I'm willing to work with your organization. We're willing to work with ECOWAS to ensure the development within the region. Thank you so much, sir, for your final remark. And we are very happy to have you here. I will also, Mr. Oluwaseyi, I don't know if you're still there, Mr. Oluwaseyi. If you are still there, please just give us a little closing remark and just tell us how you feel you need that your organization can support and partner with the African Trade Exhibition, and why you feel the African Trade Exhibition platform it's actually good for to promote things like this, all the things that you have said today. What do you feel the African Trade Exhibition will do to be able to how that be able to promote seamless trade within the ECOWAS? Just tell us how you feel the need for that, and how your organization will be able to partner and support that. Is Mr. Oluwaseyi still there? Is he still with us?
Okay, I think he's having some network challenge, so we can just go ahead and then just do the closing.
Okay. Then I think I'll pass the mic to Dr. Abdul. Dr. Abdul, sir, please, sir, you can take the floor. Just tell us a bit of how you feel the African Trade Exhibition can actually help all these things we talked about today, especially the wonderful, valid points that you made earlier. How do you think the African Trade Exhibition can actually help us in achieving most of those things that we talked about today, and also how the organization too is which is to partner with the African Trade Exhibition? You can just briefly give your insights.
Okay. So sorry, Ikechukwu, Mr. Ikechukwu, let me just stand in for Dr. Abdul. He is actually in another attending another seminar now. So just on the closing remark, I would say we all know the importance of trade in Africa, and it is obvious that we cannot keep doing business the same way and expect a better change or a new result. So in conclusion, I would say it is African Trade Exhibition is positioned to transform trade in Africa, not just in ECOWAS alone, but in Africa in general and the world at large. And then African Trade Exhibition platform is positioned to foster trade in a very seamless way, eradicating the logistics and barrier issues we have in Africa. Someone in South Africa, for example, can trade comfortably and conveniently and showcase their business to millions of businesses and SMEs and companies around the world, leveraging on African Trade Exhibition. And there are also payment solutions which have been made available in such a way that businesses, no matter the country where they are in Africa, can seamlessly trade and also issue payments with solutions such as PAPS, Pan-African Payment System Solution, which is there to ease trade payment and facilitation. And then we also have the AFTA, which is also there to promote seamless trade and borderless trade in Africa. So African Trade Exhibition is a platform that will make it easy for businesses to showcase their product and services from the comfort of their office or their home, or their factory or warehouse without having to travel quite a distance and setting up. Technology has made it easy for African Trade Exhibition is providing a technological solution to make it easy for businesses to be able to connect seamlessly and to be able to also promote trade and culture in Africa. So in a nutshell, not to waste our time is already far spent. I just want to appreciate all the speakers. I want to appreciate Ambassador Aminu Kadiri, and also want to appreciate Afifa, want to appreciate Dr. Abu, want to appreciate Mr. Oluwaseyi Adepoju for representing the Director General of NITDA, and we hope to continue to engage collaboratively to promote trade and to push trade in Africa in a very seamless way. Thank you very much for your time. I think when the floor is over to you, Mr. Ikechukwu, you can close the final remark.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, that was a very nice conclusion to this event. I think our take home today it's one. I think we have one very basic take home today is that Africa has a lot of potential for economic development, and resources, the human resources are here, the opportunities are here, and the African Trade Exhibition is here to expose those opportunities and attract those investments to develop not just the West African sub-region, but Africa as a whole. So thank you once again, everybody. I want to special thank you to the participants who took out their time today to actually join us on this webinar. We have over 700 of them. We thank you so much. But without you guys, we will not be able to do this. I also want to say a special thank you to the keynote speakers, Ambassador Aminu Kadiri. We want to say better thank you, sir. You have, in fact, words cannot express how happy we are to have you. We want to say thank you to Mr. Oluwaseyi Adepoju, who was representing the DG of NITDA. We really appreciate you. Your insights on technology was something else, and we have learned so much from you today. We also want to thank Mr. Dr. Abdul Badi Eldada. We also want to thank you. You gave us a lot of technical insights, and it was very, very, very educative. We want to thank Madam Yata Sama, who, she talked so much about the agricultural sector, the challenges they are facing there, or not just the agricultural sector, she talked about other sectors and the economic opportunities available in other sectors, as well. And we also want to thank Miss Afifa Elsie too for her contributions on tourism, cultural tourism, and how much the economic potential associated with it, untapped economic potentials Africa can actually take advantage of. So I want to thank everybody, and of course the technical team who made this webinar possible. The entire team members, I want to thank everybody. It's been a wonderful deliberation, and we hope to do this again. We hope to do this again sometime soonest. So thank everybody and have a lovely day. Thank you very much.